Hello, my dear friends, my colleagues, pharmaceutical leaders. I am glad today to conduct my author lectures concerning on the role of qualified person of pharmacovigilance, QPPV increases management, navigated urgent safety issues, and regulatory response under force majeure conditions. For our new participants and subscribers, thank you that you have subscribed to my YouTube channel. My name is Galina Cordero. I am a QPPV, Qualified Person of Pharmacovigilance, Head of Pharmacovigilance Department, Clinical Expert, DCK Pharmac. I have created my YouTube channel concerning on drug safety and pharmacovigilance issues. It's this YouTube channel already have around 48 videos, and you will find useful information. I will try combine knowledge, clinical aspect of pharmacovigilance, regulatory aspect of pharmacovigilance. Today we will talk about role of QPPV in crisis management. Why? Because it's very important for patient centricity of QPPV and the role of QPPV as a leader, crisis manager, the manager of house, bridge between pharmaceutical company, marketers, holder, and patients, medical doctors. Because under stress, you can see situations that from one side it changes drug response of drugs, getting higher toxicity of drugs in chronic stress conditions, plus increasing amount of medication errors. It's important patient precisely if we talk about medication errors from patient sides. It means that OTC drugs like paracetamol, non-steroid inflammation drugs like, for example, ibuprofen, can lead for adverse reaction. Plus, when you will see that control get decreased because house stress and immigration and many force majeure situation related with war, with COVID pandemic situation, COVID-19, for example, cover activity when terminals and system cannot work. It's can damage too and control of drugs on regulatory authority level. It's why QPPV should be crisis manager, stress related person who will take care about patients, about staff of own department, pharmacovigilance department, and made everything possible would depend from QPPV. The system will work. It means that stabilize pharmacovigilance system. This topic, as you see, is very actual, and my advice: don't wait when this situation will come to you. Simulate, make simulation of situation, write compliant business continuity plan for pharmacovigilance system. Standard operation procedure concerning business continuity plan should be two. Force majeure condition is stress, it's pain, it's death, it's chronic acute phase of stress going to chronic phase, and your brain start work differently comparing with calm situation. And yes, you should survive in this situation. Plus, if you QPPV should survive, patients should survive, your personnel should survive, medical doctors don't make mistakes, and it's require from QPPV be a good leader and take responsibility for all house what's going on. Pharmacovigilance system is the force majeure condition are designed to function under a regulated, stable condition. However, global experiences disrupt this system unpredictably. The QPPV employment under EU Good Pharmacovigilance GVP Model 1 ensures that pharmacovigilance obligations are fulfilled regardless of circumstances. The COVID-19 pandemic, the war in Ukraine, and natural disaster have demonstrated that maintaining safety oversight under such conditions requires agile leadership, technological integration, and effective cross-border collaboration. Crisis response strategies for QPPV include establishing rapid response plans. QPPV should establish rapid response plans that outline clear protocols for dealing with drug safety issues, coordinated with crisis teams. Effective coordination between QPPV and crisis management teams is essential for an field response. Training for crisis preparedness. Regular training for QPPV ensures they are equipped to handle unforeseen drug safety emergencies. Evaluation of crisis outcomes. Post-crisis evaluation by QPPVs helps in understanding the effectiveness of the response and identifies areas for improvement. Barrier for effective crisis response is understanding QPPV role in crisis. The QPPV plays a crucial role in crisis management, ensuring the safety of medication during emergencies, identifying communication barriers. Effective communication is essential for QPPVs to manage crises. However, various barriers can impede this process. Collaboration challenges with teams. QPPV often face challenges in collaboration with various teams within the organization during a crisis. Essential trainings for QPPV in crisis. QPPV should be trained and get this knowledge how to act in force majeure condition. It's very important. Plus, majority of success will depend from personal quality of QPPV, stress-related leadership, crisis management, this quality, plus how decision making, how to make decision that leads to success of pharmacovigilance system. To choose priority or critical process, it's collection information, it's make successful communication like internal and external communication between QPPV and personnel inside company. It's interdisciplinary communication with another departments which are important for activated business continuity plan. It's legal department, it's a department of IT department, it's a department related with HR activity, it can be service HR activity, it's question concerning on safety of company department, information safety department. Why? Because just if all departments will work together, you will get success. Another way, you will fail, your system will not work. And plus external communication, communication between QPPV and regulatory authority, QPPV and your partners, vendors, your distributors from all countries when present your medicines in markets. It's very important because safety data exchanges should be working, and master service agreements should be working. And if, for example, audit will come to your company partner, you will not get any excuse that you have force majeure conditions. It's a pity because very important that staff should be working. From my experience, psychological condition should be provided for staff, for personnel. They, your specialist of pharmacovigilance, should feel your support in any step of activity, your advice, and you should have a cold mind and hot heart. It means that you like epitome of this process, epitome of legenda, of living legenda in this condition. Why? Is they everybody will look on you. If you will be scared, you will get scared. You will in missing up condition. Your system will fail, get failure too. Now, right now, don't miss time. Make and develop training program for pharmaceutical professional. How to report this information, to whom report information, in which volume, what which criteria should be following, and it's how I'm saying it should be like reminder in for every specialist in your company about how to act in critical situation concerning on activity pharmacovigilance system. Precisely if when we're talking about reporting and providing safety information for QPPV. QPPV 24 hours, 7 days working. It's demanding to have deputy of QPPV. Deputy QPPV should be trained to concerning on how to act in crisis situation. Programs for training programs for pharmaceutical professional that should be focused on crisis management skills are vital for enhancing the efficacy of QPPV during emergency. Collaboration among QPPVs in emergency. Effective crisis management requires QPPVs to work closely with other professionals for comprehensive solutions. Continuous education for pharmacovigilance experts. Ongoing training helps for QPPV to stay updated with changing regulation and best practices in crisis management. Preparedness strategy for effective management. Case strategy for QPV should be ready right now. Develop and structure prepared strategy is crucial for QPV to respond swiftly during crisis. Role of teamwork in crisis situation. Collaboration between QPPV and various stakeholders in setup for effective crisis management. Establishing a crisis communication plan. A clear communication strategy is vital for QPPV to disseminate all critical information during a crisis. Simulated crisis scenarios for QPPV right now. Benefits of crisis simulation training. Simulation prepare QPPV to react promptly and effectively to real-world crisis situation. Involvement of stakeholders in simulation, including various stakeholders simulation exercise, enhances the preparedness of QPPVs. Evaluated performance during simulation. Assessing QPPV's response is simulated crisis provided insight of improvement and training needs. Realistic scenarios of effective training. Creating realistic crisis scenarios is essential for QPPVs to practice decision making under pressure. We will talk about business continuity plan in our next webinars, my author lectures, and when we talk about role QPPV increases management, the QPPV should develop SOP concerning a business continuity plan, pharmacovigilance, afterwards business continuing plan as a document, SOP business disaster or business recovery plan in pharmacovigilance, and SOP and document. Plus, it should be business continuity plan should be activated, and very important to get prepared before when you will get crisis force majeure situation. Then every specialist should be training concerning non-business continuity plan, to know role, to have reserve specialists. For example, if you have medical right and if something happens as one writer, to have ability to change like reserve for this function. Same for every function. Very critical is database. A database should have a resolve ability, and like resolve server, it can be included, and every specialist should have VPN access for database. It's important too, because of allocation your personnel. It's important not just for management of database, but and for internal communication, Microsoft Teams, Zooms, meetings, everyday meetings with your staff who are allocated if something happened in his territory tragic. It's important, and please get ready for this situation right now. Case context: war in Ukraine and the COVID-19 pandemic. In early 20s, the rapid global spread of SARS-CoV-2 presented situation of profound uncertainty. Recent days, national lockdowns, healthcare system saturation, and staffing shortage caused widespread disruption across pharmacovigilance operation, including adverse event reporting, access to electronic system, and functioning of local affiliates. Similarly, the escalation of the war in Ukraine in 2019 led to destruction on infrastructure, mass displacement of population, communication blackout, several impaired the pharmacovigilance function in the affected region. In both cases, the QPPV was among the first to initiate real-time assessment of operation status, using early warning indications such as sudden drop in incoming SCRs from affected territories, delayed database synchronization from remote sites, communication disruption between marketing association affiliates and local healthcare providers, inability to perform pharmacovigilance activity as per GVP timeline. Strategic response is situation mapping, include upon recognition the disruption, the QPPV activated pharmacovigilance business continuity protocol, business continuity plan. This includes rapid impact assessment, used predefined crisis monitoring dashboards, mobilization of emergency communication channel, encrypted messaging apps, applications, satellite phones, cloud-based reporting forms. Electricity can disappear. It can affect not just mechanism tools who needs electricity, but and mobile phone, mobile cell phone networking too. It's important, and you should have not just for one cell, for one networking provider, for example, Lifecell, Kyivstar, Vodafone, like example, because it will help you like alternative channels for communication. Establishment of crisis-specific SOP, standard operation procedure, deviation formally documented and justified under GVP Model 1 provision. In Ukraine, for example, the QPPV coordinated with regional safety officer to reroute case collection and follow-up activities through adjacent countries like Poland, Romania with operational capability. This allowed continuous SR flow and maintaining compliance with minimum reporting standard. And when we assume strategic response and situation mapping, first of all, QPPV should identify potential crisis, potential risk for pharmacovigilance system, rapidly assesses emerging disruption affecting operation, utilize the situational analysis to get initial response. Then risk evaluation. Continuously analyze risk and uncertainties to understand their potential impact, prioritizing action based on severity. Action planning. Develop flexible, adaptable plans to address identified threats. Seek coordinated response to mitigate risk effectively. Resource allocation. Optimize disruption of resources and assess to ensure maximum operation efficiency and readiness amidst the crisis. Adaptive monitoring framework. A key aspect of QPPV crisis adaptation was shifting from routine signal monitoring to crisis modifying surveillance, including focusing tracking of critical safety endpoints such as vaccine-related adverse events during the pandemic or disruption in chronic medication safety monitoring during evacuation. Use of unconventional data sources such as telemedicine records, pharmacy hotlines, and social media listening for early signal detection. Real-time decision-making dashboard, integrated safety data, and logistical feasibility assessment. This adaptation were implemented while preserving compliance with GVP Annex 4 requirement for documented risk-based pharmacovigilance. In this way, when we will assume it, adaptive monitoring framework includes focused tracking for critical safety endpoints, use on unconventional data sources, and real-time decision-making dashboard. Case context cross-regional PV continuity during crisis. During the COVID-19 pandemic and the armed war in Ukraine, conventional pharmacovigilance infrastructures were partly or entirely compromised. Physical access to clinical data, staff availability, and national regulatory communication channels were variably disrupted. The QPPV responded but initiated a suite of remote coordination mechanisms that ensures the pharmacovigilance system critical path remaining intact. In this way, cross-regional pharmacovigilance continued during crisis, include disruption of pharmacovigilance activity cross-location, effective long-distance communication, and digital system for remote operation. Activation of remote pharmacovigilance infrastructure will help to provide compliant functioning working of pharmacovigilance system. The first step was activated the Emergency Remote Operation Framework (ROF), a predefined component of the pharmacovigilance master file. The QPPV initiated immediate reconfiguration of access permission to the safety database to enable secure remotely connectivity via VPN. VPN is mandatory to use. VPN is mandatory because without it, it's impossible to get access for tools like database, like pharmacovigilance database, all bases of marketing authorization holders. Deployment of cloud-based ICCRS intake portals accessible to medical personnel in the field of telemedicine hubs enable continuous adverse event capture from displaced or remote patients. redundancy protocol for Majeure coding, narrative drafting, and triage, using disrupted safety teams across multiple time zones to mitigate regional blackout. For instance, during the 2022 hostilities in Eastern Europe, the QPPV coordinated daily case management meeting between pharmacovigilance personnel in unaffected European Union regions, remote medical reviewers in Moldova and Czech Republic, using secure video platform like Webex with restricted access controls and digital collaboration tools like OneDrive for pharmacovigilance or SharePoint. In this way, activation of remote pharmacovigilance infrastructure should include cloud-based databases, secure access for personnel, and online case reporting tool. Digital and cross-border communication. Recognizing the breakdown of traditional coordination models, the QPPV leveraging digital solution and borderless collaboration to establish operation continuity. First of all, its tiered communication matrix identified essential pharmacovigilance personnel and backup lists in each region. Secure communication protocols, including encrypted messaging, signal, proton mail, to transmit critical safety updates or instruction. Pre-approved deviation logs, allowing temporary substitution of face-to-face reconciliation, audits, and medical review with validated digital alternatives. Moreover, collaboration was extended across marketing authorization holder affiliates and partner clinical research organizations in adjacent jurisdictions, enabling the redistribution of workloads, narrative medical review, or unblinding when local staff were unavailable. Digital and cross-border communications in this way, as assumed, should include online meetings, instant messages, and coordination across regions. Prioritization of safety risk and rapid decision making. Prioritization of safety risk and rapid decision making is researched constrained. The QPPV must reprioritize safety function based of risk to patient impact. Structured tiered framework was implemented. Tier 1, less threatening or serious unexpected adverse reaction. Tier 2, include new safety signals under active evaluation. Active evaluation. In Tier 3 is routine pharmacovigilance activity, literature screening, cumulative analysis. For example, during the vaccine rollout in 2021, the QPPV redirected research toward evaluated thromboembolic events after initial alerts, ensuring rapid internal assessment and immediate signal validation in hydrovigilance. In this way, when we will assume this information concerning on prioritization of safety risk and rapid decision making should include reassessment of risk, resource allocation, and critical actions. Case tracking, KPIs, and audit trail integrity. The QPPV ensured interrupted compliance through real-time tracking of. It will include ICCR processing timelines, Majeure versioning and coding consistency, adverse events follow-up rates, and data completeness metrics. All deviations from standard processes were captured with a central pharmacovigilance deviation management system, ensuring retrospective auditability. Remote oversight was supported by digital dashboard with live feeds from safety system, and compliance was assured by aligning activity with GVP Module 1, Module 6, and applicable ICO 27001 certified security standard. When we will assume make short resume of case tracking, KPIs, and audit trail integrity, should pay attention on case tracking, present and mandatory to detect QPIs, plus audit trail integrity. Sustained performs under duress. Even under constrained conditions, the QPPV ensures that ICCR submissions can last 15 days for serious and unpredictable reaction, at 90 days for unserious reaction, were made for all serious and non-serious events generally. Signal management activities, including signal validation and prioritization, continuing with input from remote expert and external data sources, VGB literature surveillance. Periodic safety of data report and risk management plan deliverables were submitted on schedule with proactive engagement of QPPV deputies to facilitate continuity. Sustained performance under duress include consistent output, adaptive workflows, and stress management. Regulatory communication and flexibility. One of the most critical responsibilities of qualified person pharmacovigilance in the force majeure situation is to ensure interrupting regulatory compliance through transparent, proactive, and adaptive engagement with regulatory authorities. In force majeure conditions, the ability to sustain open lines of communication with the European Medicine Agency and National Complementary Authority becomes essential for only for operation aligned but also for preserving the integrity of the benefit-risk profile of medicinal products. Case context COVID-19 pandemic and war-related disruption. During the COVID-19 pandemic, a European Medicine Agency issued several guidance documents allowing temporary regulatory flexibilities, including deferred submission of periodic report and allowance for remote inspection. Likewise, during the 2022 war in Ukraine, the State Expert Center EMA received direct communication from marketing authority holders upon QPPV regarding the anticipated inability to meet certain pharmacovigilance obligations due to structural collapse and communication outage. In both scenarios, the QPPV acted as a single, accountable spokesperson for the marketing authorization holders, pharmacovigilance system, and initiated timely regulatory dialogue to manage its expectation, request flexibility, and ensure that patient safety remained uncompromised. Negotiation of flexible timelines. In several cases, the QPPV successfully negotiated deferred submission of periodic safety of data reports and risk management updates justified by documentation of internal delays and research relocation. Temporary suspension of local literature monitoring with compensatory enhanced screening in adjustment regions on via central teams. Waiver or extension for follow-up on non-serious individual case ICCRS in war-affected regions with safety significance re-evaluated post-crisis. European Medicine Agency and several national regulatory authorities acknowledge that there is justification under the principles of risk-based pharmacovigilance in GVP Module 1 flexibility during the emergency condition. Regulatory collaboration and trust building. To maintain regulatory trust, the QPPV ensuring prompt updates on the evolving situation through a scheduling teleconference or written reports. Availability for urgent queries, including readiness to attend virtual inspection or submit supplemental evidence. Alignment with evolving regulatory guidance, such as European Medicine Agency COVID-19 specific pharmacovigilance adjustment and crisis management guidance issued by the Health Medicine Agency (HMA). For small event disruption extended beyond internal protection, the QPPV issued amendments to the Pharmacovigilance System Master File, including an updated annex containing alternative case processing centers, designing QPPV deputies with delegate authority, and revised communication hierarchies. Case content, resource depletion during the COVID-19 pandemic and regional conflict. as a war. It's a war. It's very stressful. It's damaging. It's source of death. It's unbelievable how it gets carried to everybody. It's why QPPV again should be a very good leader, very good crisis manager, and from experience pandemic and war, it's combining responsibility. Why very difficult to survive in stressful condition when you have so huge responsibility. It's why QPPV needs separately. I think I consider support psychological one, because this stress, this pressure can get consequences on QPPV. Too much responsibility, too much market, worrying about, care about personal, and because another one, inspection readiness and patient safety. Staff shortage, disrupting data flows, and limited access to health professional and patient necessitated selective deployment of available resources. The QPPV played a pivotal leadership role, but enforcing a structured prioritization model to maintain the effectiveness of the safety monitoring system. When we will make short assume resource depletion during the COVID-19 pandemic and war, healthcare capacity strain, overabundant medical facilities, plus medical supply defenses, logistical disruption can take place too. Implementation of risk-based prioritization framework to respond effectively, the QPPV instituted a tiered risk prioritization matrix aligning with GVP Module 9 and A2-year principles. Tier 1 critical safety operation includes serious and unexpected adverse reaction, deaths of life-threatening events with known or potential causality, emerging safety signals with immediate public health implication, ongoing benefit risk reevaluation triggered by new data. Tier 2 important by time flexible task. It's non serious individual case reports, safety reports, routine literature screen and follow up, aggregate data, trend analysis, and lower priority risk management components. Tier 3 deferred risk tolerate task, internal audits, periodic reconciliation with distributors, internal training refreshers not linked to immediate safety deliverables, non-critical updates to internal SOPs. This stratification allowed reallocation of human and technological resources towards the most urgent tasks, particularly when local staff were unavailable or communication channels were degraded. Real-world execution, signal evaluation, and risk mitigation. A concrete example occurred during the rollout of COVID-19 vaccines, where the QPPVs team detected an unexpected cluster of thromboembolic events. Despite parallel disruption in data inflow from Eastern Europe, the QPPV initiated accelerated signal validation protocol with off-site physicians conducting expedited case assessment, real-time consultation with regulatory authorities and internal benefit risk committees, preliminary risk communication materials prepared in multiple languages for potential healthcare provider disruption. Similarly, during the Ukrainian crisis, increased reporting of treatment interruption and adverse event relating to displaced population prompted immediate signal refinement to assess whether such incident represented known risk under new environment stressor or if they suggested evolving patterns required updated safety communication. Rapid decision making under uncertainty, the QPPV leadership was defined not only by prioritization but the capacity of make defensible data-informed decisions in comparison time frames. Key components of this include use of real-time dashboard and safety signal visualization, delegation protocols, empowering regional QPPV deputies to act on organ safety issues. Emergency Signal Management Team (SMT) mobilization for high-impact scenarios. Strategic postponement of emerging or non-critical processes, combining overlapped periodic safety update reports and risk management updates. All decisions were formally documented in a crisis decision log, capturing the rationale, stakeholders involved, time of execution, and projected safety implication, ensuring full transparency and regulatory defensibility. Case contain lessons learned as post-crisis evaluation following COVID-19 and armed war. In aftermath of COVID-19 pandemic and warfare affecting Eastern Europe, exactly Ukraine, the QPPV convened cross-functional debriefing session involving pharmacovigilance staff, regulatory affairs, IT, and external vendors to extract and document key lessons learned. The collaborative approach allows the transformation of operation experience into system-wide enhancement. First of all, strengthening of pharmacovigilance business continuity plans. Pre-crisis PV business continuity plans often underestimated the complexity and duration of large-scale disruption. As a result, the QPPV initiated a comprehensive overhaul of existing pharmacovigilance BCP frameworks, inclusion of crisis-specific SOP annexes, detailed stepwise responsive to pandemics, military conflict, or national disaster. Predefined fallback roles for regional QPPV deputies and trained alternatives. Establishment of geographical disruption PV nodes to avoid over-reliance on single hub. The updated business continuity plan was integrated into the pharmacovigilance system master file and underwent validation through simulation exercise. Investment in digital and cloud-based infrastructure. One of the clearest lessons was the value of cloud-based system and remote access technically. QPPV advocated and oversaw migration of key PV function to validate GRP-compliant cloud environments, deployment of secure mobile-compatible IE reporting platform for use in the field, hospital, refugee camps, or telemedicine setting. Implementation of automated signal prioritization tools enable faster risk identification when staff availability is compromised. This upgrade significantly reduced recovery time during future interruption. Cross-training and staff flexibility. Rigid functional silos were a barrier to continuity during crisis. To mitigate this, the QPPV launched a pharmacovigilance cross-training program, ensuring that team members understood core processes across case intake, triage, reporting, and signal detection. Could operate across geographies and therapeutic areas. Were proficient in alternate system of fallback workflows. This program was embedded into annual GVP training requirements and supported by competency-based learning modules. Institutional culture of resilience. Beyond technical changes, the QPPV championed a cultural shift toward resilience-oriented pharmacovigilance by conducted quarterly resilience drills, included simulated database outage and remote inspection scenarios. Establishing a crisis pharmacovigilance oversight committee to routinely review global risk maps, geopolitical triggers, and system readiness. Creating a central pharmacovigilance resilience dashboard, tracking staff readiness, regional disruption, and compliance risk in real time. Such a culture encourages anticipation, not just reaction, and empowers staff to make proactive decisions under stress. Regulatory and strategic engagement. Regulators were not only recipients of information during crisis, they became strategic partners. The QPPV built long-term trust by sharing details post-crisis report with European Medicine Agency and national authorities, highlighting both gaps and success, contributing to industry-wide GVP revision dialogues, drawing on real-world evidence from crisis adaptation, participating in expert panels and publications to disseminate best practices across the European pharmacovigilance community. This engagement enhanced mutual understanding and paved the way for more flexible regulatory mechanisms in future emergencies. Crisis response strategies for QPPV, and we will assume it will include establishing rapid response plans. QPPV should establish rapid response plans that outline clear protocols for dealing with drug safety crises. Coordination with crisis teams, effective coordination between QPPV and crisis management teams is essential for an unified response. Training for crisis preparedness. Regular training for QPPV ensures they are equipped to handle unforeseen drug safety emergency. Evaluation of crisis outcomes. Post-crisis evaluation by QPPV helps in understanding the effectiveness of the response and identifying areas and improvement. Lesson learned and enhancing resilience strategies. Post-crisis evaluation led by the QPPV revealed gaps and guided to development of forward-looking preparedness strategies, including updating the master file to include crisis response annexes, strengthening remote audit capabilities in cloud-based data storage, cross-training pharmacovigilance personnel to function in multi-regional scenarios, establishing the pre-approved emergency SOP and automated fallback process for data submission. Moreover, the QPPV initiated simulation exercise for remote pharmacovigilance functioning and redefined a central of personnel list in the line with ICH E2E and ISO 911901 crisis management best practices. When we will assume pharmacovigilance lessons learned and enhanced resilience strategy, it will include strengthening business continuity plan, refining preparedness for future crises, investment in digital system, implemented cloud-based and remote solution, cross-training program, increases staff flexibility and adaptability, resilience testing and drills, conducted regular practice and simulation. Formal notification or disruption. Upon confirming that critical pharmacovigilance function, SCCR transmission, literature monitoring, screening, periodic safety of data report, upon confirming the critical pharmacovigilance function, that the QPPV prepared and submitted structured communication to European Medicine Agency Pharmacovigilance Office via IRIS platform. National authorities include BFM, Germany, Italy, France, using official notification templates. Each notification includes nature and scope of disruption, impacting territory and processes, anticipated duration of disruption, mitigated measures, nature and scope disruption, impacting territories, processes, anticipation, duration, disruption, mitigation measures, interim solution, requested for timeline adjustment or procedure derelocation. It's very important in this request for time adjustment on process derogation. Where applicable, this communication was supported by evidence of attempted continuity, remote database access logs, correspondence with clinical research organization partners, serial partners, to reinforce the market and stakeholder commitment to maintain compliance. Preparedness strategy for effective management. Key strategies for QPPV readiness. Developing structured preparedness strategies is crucial for QPPVs to respond swiftly during crisis. Role of teamwork in crisis situation. Collaboration between QPPVs and various stakeholders essential for effective crisis management. Establishing in a crisis communication plan and clear communication strategy is vital for QPPVs to disseminate critical information during crisis. Benefit of crisis simulation training is simulating crisis scenarios. Simulation prepare QPPV to react promptly and effectively to real-world crisis situation. Involvement of stakeholder simulation, including various stakeholders in simulation exercise, enhances the preparedness of QPPVs. Evaluated performance during during simulation, assessing QPPV response in simulated crisis, provide insight for improvement in training needs. Realistic scenarios for effective training. Creating realistic crisis scenarios is essential for QPPV to practice decision making under pressure. Emerging technologies QPPV efficiency. Utilization of artificial intelligence pharmacovigilance. Artificial intelligence can streamline QPPV function, enhancing data analysis and reported accuracy in crisis situation. Integration of big data in decision making. Big data analytics offers QPPV insights into trends, help and anticipate and mitigate crisis impacts of drug safety. Role of data scientists in QPPV. Collaboration with data scientists can enhance the QPPV ability to analyze adverse event data swiftly during crisis. Adoption to automated reporting tools. Implemented automated reporting tools can significantly reduce response times for QPPVs during crisis management. Anticipated future challenges for QPPV. It includes identified regulatory changes impacting QPPV. Staying ahead of regulatory changes is essential for QPPVs to effectively manage emerging crisis scenarios and pharmacovigilance. Managing public perception during crisis. QPPV must address public concerns proactively to maintain trust and transparency during adverse event crisis. Training needs for future QPPV. As pharmacovigilance evolves, ongoing training will be crucial for QPPV to tackle future challenges effectively. Innovation solution for crisis management. Developing crisis response frameworks, creating structured crisis response frameworks will enable QPPV to act swiftly and effectively in pharmacovigilance incidents. Use of digital communication strategies. Incorporating digital communication strategies can improve QPPV interaction with healthcare professionals during crisis. Engaging with patient advocacy group. Building a relationship with patient advocacy group, enhancing QPPV crisis management by providing real-world perspective. My dear colleagues, my dear friend, I'm very happy that we today have conducted this webinar concerning on role QPPV in crisis manager, and we have discussed about navigated safety risk and regulatory risk. The destiny of QPV full of challenges, but it's more than hobby. It's taken all life, and every day it helps to improve knowledge, to get new information. It's improve analytical skills, and yes, it will help if when we talking about myself, make me happy, because it's not job, it's hobby, and when I'm thinking about it, I think that it's great that I get this specialty. For my new friends, I can say, for new subscribers, you can send me by email galina.gmail.com your needs, your questions, and we can discuss, organize these webinar seminars. I can say that I have created basic course of pharmacovigilance. If you would like to get this book, you can request me by email galina.gmail.com, and I will provide to. Please be so kind to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Drug Safety from Galina Cordera, and you will get very important information. Thank you very much.